Smart Chain. My name is Flora, and I'm with Binance X, Binance's developer ecosystem initiative. Let me actually get started by introducing two other speakers from our side. The first speaker that I will introduce is Binance's CFO, Wei Zhou. Wei has over 15 years of executive experience at leading technology, internet, and media companies, with expertise in financial management, investment, as well as growing and scaling business in both Asia and in the States. Wei graduated from Harvard University and previously served as CFO of Zhaopin.com and Charm Communications. He led these companies through their IPO listings on NASDAQ and NYSE. Today, Wei will share with us Binance's vision and our motivations in supporting the Binance Smart Chain. The next speaker that I will introduce is Dr. Zhang Xiaoguang. Xiaoguang is leading the ecosystem development for the Binance Smart Chain. Before joining the Binance ecosystem, Xiaoguang worked in Morgan Stanley, and he was the head of technology and risk department in China. He received his PhD from Shanghai Jiao Tong University, and his research interests are in agile development, multi-sig, threshold signature signing-based custodian solutions, zero knowledge, and more. Today, Xiaoguang will share with us the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, as well as our ecosystem strategy. He will cover our token canal initiative, as well as our plans on bridging CeFi and DeFi together. You'll be hearing from both of them shortly. So everyone, since we announced the Binance Smart Chain Accelerator Fund last month on September 10th, we have received over 180 applications. And would like to take this opportunity to share with you our philosophy behind running this fund and how we evaluate projects. We also will announce our first batch of projects that are receiving funding from us. As most of you know, Binance is the largest crypto exchange by trading volume. And the most important goal of our team at Binance X is to grow the blockchain industry through innovation. Two important metrics that our team have are the quality of entrepreneurs and the number of active developers in our ecosystem. If we have a healthy rate of innovation and use cases in the industry, we will have a healthy supply of tokens getting created, used, and exchanged on Binance's product and services. The first criteria that our team uses to evaluate any project is their startup funders themselves. We believe great entrepreneurs gravitate towards great opportunities. We look at their motivation behind their work, and we want to invest in projects with teams that are aligned in building long-term values for their users and our industry. We believe the whole blockchain ecosystem is still early, and there are still a lot of fundamental building blocks that need to be built. At the same time, we are also open-minded to new ideas that might not have been seen before. In short, our methodology is actually quite simple. We identify great teams, and we figure out ways to support them. Our fund could be used in investing in projects where Binance could add value in their entrepreneur journey. We could be funding development grants to build building blocks that will make it easier for other developers to build. We could be funding projects that need liquidity. We could be funding projects that need funds for security audits. And yes, we have encountered projects that do not need funding but need technical support. And our goal is to identify great projects and help them succeed. At this point, let me share our first batch of 6 projects that we are supporting with the Binance Smart Chain Fund. The first project in alphabetical order is AnySwap. AnySwap is a cross-chain AMA pool on Binance Smart Chain. AnySwap enables swaps between BNB and other tokens like BTC and ETH. The second project is Arcane Network that make it super easy for game developers and other dApps to easily integrate Binance Smart Chain and their tokens into their applications for their mainstream end users. The third project is Bakery Swap. They're an AMM pool on Binance Smart Chain. Their bakery combo is the first NFT DeFi platform running on the Binance Smart Chain. The fourth project is Bakery. Bakery indexes and provides a unified data interface for 20 plus blockchains. And Bakery will make it easy to run query and get intelligence on dApps running on the Binance Smart Chain. The fifth project is PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is the #1 AMM tool on Binance Smart Chain right now. They focus on gamified farming mechanics, and it has a mechanism to drive user participation and more token use cases. The last but not least project is Proxima. Proxima is a fast, decentralized, trustless data query protocol based on Merkle rules. It supports data authentication, and it's highly scalable. There you have it. These are the 6 projects that we are supporting from the Binance Smart Chain Accelerator Fund. We'll also publish some more details on about these projects on our blogs and at Binance X website at binancex.dev. Right now, I would like to hand the floor to Xiaoguang to give us some highlights on the strategies from the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem.
Sure. Thanks, Flora. You can hear me quite clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, it's very exciting to share this kind of the 24 days journey in the Binance Smart Chain in mainnet launch. And actually, after these 25 days, we see a lot of the different DeFi projects running in the Binance Smart Chain right now. All right. We also see our transaction volume continuously growing, and currently we have constantly 20% of the Ethereum transaction volumes right now. And our user not only enjoy the high performance network and low gas fee, but also enjoy very active user bases and quite good liquidity right now. So in terms of the strategy, so actually we are not just running from after the mainnet, right? We implement the operation this new blockchain from our very early stage. So I want to highlight several key areas we invested in and work with our community closely in the past 6 months actually, right? So even before the mainnet through the testnet. So #1 is we got a very good infrastructure. We'll make it EVM compatible, and we have a very close community collaboration. So as I mentioned, before we launched the mainnet, we got a lot of the good partners from different categories help us to build and enhance our infrastructure. So for example, we get an Explorer infrastructure, we got a wallet, Oracle supporting our testnet. So a lot of the dApps also try on our testnet as well. And because we are the EVM compatible, the learning curve of the Binance Smart Chain is very low. Porting and developing new dApps on the Binance Smart Chain is very smooth and very straightforward. The developers and the community really like the Binance Smart Chain right now. And to be honest, we are also 25 days. We definitely looking for more new infrastructure builders to help us. For example, more data analytics, and for example, more data multi-sig infrastructure, right, to help to build a DeFi governance protocols as well. And that's the first areas we see we invest a lot. And secondly, after new chain initiated, another key area is if we want to really bootstrap a new chain, and the SEC is the key, the liquidity is the key. And we introduced quite new idea named the Token Canal. But after we starting this kind of Token Canal program and project, and initially we use the .com as a bridge there, and a lot of people think we have that centralized approach to deploy the Token Canal. Actually, we have a quite a big vision for the Token Canal. The vision for the Token Canal is to try to build the infrastructure to support the cross-chain DeFi. And the first step is leverage the Binance.com to provide the secure and safe custody and bridge the others from the other blockchain to the Binance Smart Chain. The underlying technology is quite similar to the many existing wrapped coins in the crypto community right now, such as the WBTC. And we are, as I mentioned, we use the Binance.com to play this kind of bridge, and we can have wrap more tokens to the Binance Smart Chain. So far, we already got more than 20 pegged coins, including like BTC, XRP, DAI, all of these different tokens in the Binance Smart Chain right now, and over 300 million values, 300 million USD values tokens are in the circulation right now in the Binance Smart Chain, and it really inspires a lot of the DApps liquidity right now. So this is just the first step for our Binance, Binance Smart Chain token canal for the liquidity contributions part. And another one, I also want to leverage this opportunity to make sure everyone aware of these differences. So Token Canal is a big program, and we have a big vision there. And we also introduced a new tool named Balama. And Balama is trying to enable the Token Canal from the, because currently Token Canal, if you're using that one, you user have to register the .com account there to transfer the tokens from other chain to the Binance Smart Chain. It introduced a little bit challenges for for the decentralized users. So with Palama, users do not need to register the .com accounts, but still can leverage the very smooth transfer from other blockchain to the Binance Smart Chain without this kind of the .com registration. So we introduce this kind of tools. It can also support different wallets as well. So we hope everyone can try these new tools there. And this is the one big strategy for us to introduce the cross-chain DeFi there. And another key area is, of course, we are community-driven, and we also have these benefits to work with Binance quite closely. We see this new trend to leverage to bridging the CeFi and DeFi. So give one example is recently you may see in the Binance.com. We have a lot of the different DeFi tools or DeFi applications there, such as DeFi pool, DeFi mining, DeFi staking, different tools there. And we also have launch pool also integrated. So how can the CeFi users or .com users can get the benefits from the DeFi? So we try to bring these kind of new ideas to bridge between the CeFi users in the Binance.com to the DeFi users in the Binance Smart Chain, or even in other blockchains as well. So one example recently is you may see we have a launch pool in the Binance.com. At the same time, this launch pool also collaborated with BSC ecosystem projects together to enable this kind of the mining as well in the Binance Smart Chain. So that's quite a healthy integration there. And furthermore, when we are moving to this direction, try to set up the bridging between the CeFi and DeFi, we want to link that account and link that account in the Binance.com to the Binance Smart Chain's address as well. So user can get that benefits to move their assets between the .com and the Binance Smart Chain, and can try to get the mutual benefits from the .com products. At the same time, can enjoy the DeFi products as well. So this is still on a lot of the discussion between the community and our .com as well. So we are very excited to see more potential integrations there. And last but not least, for the quick update, is we also invest and protect, try to help our developer communities as well. And as Flora mentioned, this kind of accelerator funds. Besides accelerator funds, in the chain, in the Binance Smart Chain itself, we also try to build some of the infrastructure to try to encourage and reward our builders in the Binance Smart Chain. So hopefully everyone can see that we announced that the builder reward program. And the idea is everyone can try to deploy we encourage everyone to, all the builders, right, to deploy their applications in the Binance Smart Chain. And you can register your smart contracts in our dedicated smart contracts. We will deploy it very soon, hopefully this week. And with that, we can track the transactions on your smart contracts, And if you get a lot of attention and get a lot of users, your gas fees and through this kind of transaction will be rewarded, to you as well. And furthermore, is we also have that the liquidity and support. We also announced before this call actually, and the projects, if they got a quite a good attention right in the community, and their trading volume, their user base, and their community engagement is very good. And of course, their product got a lot of the have a very decent security review. It's quite safe, right? So we also try to make sure they can have a very healthy growth in the Binance Smart Chain in terms of their liquidity. So we have this kind of liquidity support program as well. 10 million US dollar liquidity and already announced today. We will get more. So we want to make sure our key very good superstar right in our Binance Smart Chain get enough support there. And we're also planning even keeping our Binance Smart Chain community more open, right? So Binance Smart Chain will introduce Binance Smart Chain Foundation as well, and it will keep it as an more open community, and invite more validators, players, and try to encourage incubate more applications, accelerate them, and support them through these open platforms as well. So we will keep you updated for all of these developer incentive programs as well. So with that, I give this kind of conclude my quickly update. Later, I can answer more questions if you have. Yeah, Flora, hand over to you.
Thanks, Xiaoguang. Let us hear from Wei on the Binance vision and Binance Smart Chain.
Thanks, Flora. Thanks everybody thanks Xiaoguang for that very detailed update on Binance Smart Chain. And I want to thank all of our users that are watching and spending the time with us to understand not just the latest development at Binance, but also in terms of what we're doing here within the BSC ecosystem. Before I sort of talk a little bit about Binance's vision behind the BSC, I want to congratulate the 6 winners of the ecosystem fund: AnySwap, Arcane Network, Bakery Swap, BitQuery, Pancake Swap, and Proxima. I think one of the things that I want to reiterate to everyone that's watching, and to sort of to talk a little bit about sort of the ethos behind the BSC sort of ecosystem fund. We've only set this thing up less than a month ago, and I think we've committed over $100 million to the fund. And one of the things that I have to say about the winners today is speed. I think they basically moved fast. They were developing on it even before they released their projects as soon as sort of the BSC went live. So a lot of it, I think, goes back to sort of what one of the major sort of I would say emphasis that we have here at Binance. And I think that, and I speak to sort of the crypto and the blockchain ecosystem as a whole, is that speed wins. And that's something that I want to reiterate today. And I also want to congratulate sort of the winner of our Accelerator Fund, which basically we're helping 4 projects to bootstrap their liquidity as well, in terms of getting involved early on sort of getting sort of Binance itself is actually staking close to $10 million into the 4 projects that Xiaoguang mentioned, in terms of Pancake, Bakery, Fortube, and I forgot the other one. I'll get it back here. I'm talking a little bit about the vision behind sort of pushing out the Binance Smart Chain, and a lot of it is goes back to what CZ sort of said recently, is that we're Netflixing ourselves. We the team at Binance firmly believe in sort of the decentralization and then of sort of the blockchain ecosystem, right? And we get a lot of crap from our users by being a centralized exchange. We're not decentralized, right? But the thing is that what a lot of people fail to realize is that you gotta crawl before you learn how to walk, and you gotta walk before you learn how to run, right? And a lot of it is just a process in itself. And at the end of the day, you think about sort of the way we think about it is that, users, like, what do users want, right? Users want a easy to use platform. User want to know their assets are safe, and users want speed, right? And users want it cheaply. And I think these are some of the biggest advantages of BSC, right? It's fast, it's cheap, and we are bringing develop. But what we need from developers, that we need you to come and develop on BSC to bring, easier applications for users. And all of it, we want, and our role in all of this is that we want to contribute to the continuing decentralization, right? And that's not just sort of decentralized finance, which is, I think, the major sort of move today. And what BSC is, as obviously demonstrated, is that, just in these sort of last, I would say, 20 plus days, we've already doing about 30% of the transactions BSC vis-a-vis sort of the Ethereum blockchain. And what we've seen that is that we've been successful so far in lowering the barrier to entry, I think, especially for users. And that goes to credit to all the developers that have been, working on BSC since day one. So I think, and what we want to do here is we want to provide tangible financial opportunities to the developers. And this is where sort of the team here have committed, not just sort of, I would say, technological support, right, in terms of the Panama Canal project, as well as some of the other initiatives that Xiaoguang mentioned, but actually bringing money to the table. We will help the bootstrap projects from a sort of liquidity perspective, and we will invest and give grants to companies and to founders that fit sort of the criteria that Flora mentioned. And I think all of this means that what we want to accomplish, right? Going back to sort of the freedom of money mission that CZ has iterated behind Binance from day one. So I think all of it is I think fits into this big equation, right? Fits into this big puzzle that we're trying to solve, and we're trying to help in terms of delivering that freedom of money. And then we believe that the decentralized and the DeFi ecosystem that BSC is empowering and then helping to create is going to be a vital piece of it. So with that, I want to reiterate that BSC is sort of, like, I would say, has a pretty good start because of our users, because of the developers that have been proactive and then moving really fast. And I want to say that the ecosystem within Binance is here to support our developers, both with technology and with tools, and then with the tools that we hope that you can develop, and then we're here to provide financial support for anyone that has make a combination of that has something that is either innovative or has traction with users, or can contribute to sort of furthering the BSC ecosystem. So with that, I'll turn the mic back to Flora.
Thanks, Wei. All right, we can actually go into our questions and answers section. The first question is actually it's about security, geared to Xiaoguang. So security is the most important thing for users' assets. What does Binance have in place for security?
Sure. So actually, the security here, right? So especially for the Binance Smart Chain, right, it's a little bit different from the centralized approach, right? Because the Binance Smart Chain is an open platform, it's decentralized mode. It introduces more challenge. Means you have to leverage a more open platform, open approach, right? Decentralized mode to help the users. So we do say, and also develops as well. So we do introduce several ideas recently. And not only from the Binance, but also from the community, right? So give some examples. And actually, yeah, before I give more details, I also really want to highlight, and in the DeFi, in the Binance Smart Chain, is also quite because it's open, right? It's lack of the enough authority source to evaluate or let everyone know, oh, this is a legit project, they are safe. So you have to make your own, estimation, evaluation for each DFs as well. But from for the Binance and Binance Smart Chain, we try to provide a better infrastructure or better provenance, and even try to work with our community, right, to enable that. So I share some examples we try to do right now. Firstly, is we work with our several security companies, audit companies, like we also announced that, right, like Certic and PeckShield as well. So basically, we want to provide the holistic security audit and insurance as well. It's not just like audit, right, but also make sure the application have a better control there. And a lot of people think, oh, the audit is you have to go to the company, right, security audit company to do the full audit there. It's very time consuming. So we try to work with them to provide like a better solution. For example, recently we worked with the Certic to get like quick scan and make sure before you go live, right, you can get a quick scan to understand what this is something like the software as well, right? Before you go to the release your software, you have to do like static code analysis, and the tool can help you. Then you can do a full audit. But after you go live, and nobody can guarantee there's a 100% safe for the codes, right? And in the DeFi world, usually you will have like insurance protocol there. So in our infrastructure, even like Certic, they introduce a Certic Shield there. Right, so this kind of the one-stop holistic solution, it can improve a lot. And this is just one example. So we get a more this kind of protocol to enable this holistic, security audit, security solutions there. Another one is I also want to say is from the infrastructure perspective, especially with the token canal, right? So we have the PECT token, we have a Raptor token there. And that one introduced a little bit of benefits for us to help us to make sure if user really makes some mistake to transfer the money tokens to the, like, for example, the contract, right? We see some example. We also publish that some user really move the money from to the WBNB smart contract there, right? Then the money lost. Then we help them to make sure the money can be recovered. We name it a Pioneer Burn program. So with that, we can get a little bit of help for that. But absolutely, we need more help from the community. That's very, very important. And for example, we do have that some trusted third party from our community, like Etherscan, Explorer. They do have that certification process there. They have their strategy there. So hopefully, it can, some of the scam projects recently happened, right? One thing I want to really highlight, leverage this opportunity is these projects are really not, they are token, even not certified in this kind of trusted platform. So how can you select this kind of application? So make sure you have leverage this trusted application, trusted community to help you, to protect you for that security. And also we are looking forward our community to help us to identify any like security issues in the Binance Smart Chain or our DApp ecosystems.
Thanks, Xiaoguang. The next question is for the Accelerator Fund, and we'll target to Wei. And someone is asking if we have a preference on sort of projects that we fund. Is it DeFi more given more preference, and what should people build on Binance Smart Chain?
Yeah, there's no preference to DeFi. I'll be pretty honest with that. I think right now, if you look at the projects we have, what we actually need are actually infrastructure type of projects, and those are ones that we want to fund. We need building blocks. We need actually tools. We need data analysis tools. We need I would say, if you look at sort of the stuff that has been built on top of sort of the Ethereum network over the last 3 to 5 years, there's a lot of tools that we can bring over. So I would encourage everyone to sort of take a look at, go through sort of the other ecosystems, and then if you're the first mover in terms of bringing some of these tools over, and you get traction, and there's and your code is high quality, and your team is high quality, and you're dedicated to build, we will fund you.
Thanks, Wei. The next question is for Xiaoguang. Is there any way to make multi-sig a wallet for BSC?
Sure. I think for the for the BSC, actually, the BSC is Ethereum compatible, right? Blockchain, and existing multi-sig, including the threshold signature, and it's quite suitable for this platform. We're absolutely looking for more like infrastructure to really deploy on that. As I mentioned when I introduced some of the infrastructure in update, right? We are absolutely looking forward to get more like multi-sig tools. For example, the governance, because in the DeFi usually you need a multi-sig to streamline the governance process there. And we absolutely looking forward to get this kind of support in the Binance Smart Chain. And I personally believe the migration of port from this existing solution is easy way. Another way is for the Binance Smart Chain, we invest a lot on this multi-sig as well, right? We open source the threshold signature codes. Hopefully, our community can leverage these fundamental innovation there, can build the multi-sig wallets as well.
Thanks. The next question also goes to Xiaoguang. Can you tell us how come Binance has low fee and fast transaction? What is sort of our consensus model? Maybe you can touch upon that.
Sure. So currently our fee is low fee is let me step back for that one, right? So I think the fee part is absolutely we are quite competitive right now, right? We have a very constant minimum fees like 20 GUI there, and the fees perspective is quite simple. And we have like a consensus part is we have that we are following a little bit similar as DPWAs, right? This kind of approach there. And we have 21 nodes to enable our consensus. And because we have this kind of 21 nodes approach for our similar as the DPoS consensus approach, our performance is very, very good. And I think so far, based on this kind of approach, these 21 nodes are selected based on these, they are staking the BNB there, right? And they can, every day we have these based on the staked values in these 21 nodes. Actually, we already get more validators as well, right? So far, we get a 23rd validators. Every day we can choose who are the top 21 nodes based on their staked BNB values in these validators. So every day, these 21 nodes will be selected to the days validators. And with kind of the 21 validators, coordination. So our transaction, our consensus process, we're coordinated with these 21 nodes. And because we have these 21 nodes, that's why we also have this high performance there. And so far, the gas fee is quite reasonable. And we also see like our gas fee compared with Ethereum, it's only we average is like something like 1 cent, right? This kind of USD, this 1 cent USD there. Right? It's very cheap there. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Next question is for Wei. And how will BSC lead the mass adoption of DeFi?
I think by making it, by making transactions cheaper and faster, I think that's probably the easiest answer that I can give. But in terms of more popular adoptions, I would say sort of the BSC's inherent one of the inherent advantages of BSC is actually it is something that is currently, I think, in its sort of existing format that is backed by Binance. And I think ultimately the goal, obviously, is to have a sort of a decentralized network, right? That's sort of the ultimate goal, and I think we're on our way there. But I think at least during the initial stages, I think BSC can tap into sort of the existing users from Binance in terms of actually getting some, and then Binance, vice versa, can help promote a lot of the projects that come onto BSC, and sort of this sort of like double flywheel. Will actually, will help to, I would say, not only to make the market itself bigger, but also to do it with faster speed than if it's just a network trying to go out on its own.
Thanks, Wei. Here's another question for Xiaoguang. Binance Smart Chain is really taking effect. Are there any plans to integrate multi-chain features to it in order to overcome the singularity of individual blockchains?
Oh yeah, and as I mentioned, right? So in the update, so from initial design, we are not trying to just put it as an isolated blockchain, right? And we absolutely want to introduce cross-chain or multiple chains features from day one. And the token canal is one of the initiatives. I believe you will see more, DeFi, cross-chain DeFi or cross-chain collaborations, not only from the Ethereum but also from other blockchains as well. And but we start from the access liquidity as a this part, right? But we will have a more investment to see and work with our community as well, right? To see how can we provide a better multi-chain, for example, for to the Polkadot, to the because recently Ethereum also introduced like roll-up solutions there, right? So we also think about we have because Binance Smart Chain is very fast, right? It have a good opportunity to play collaborate with Ethereum as well. And yes, we absolutely for that. But also we are not only focusing on this infrastructure as well, but also for the wallet, right? Because end users are also looking for the cross chains features as well. So we also invested work with our not only but for the Binance Smart Chain itself. We have the Binance Smart Chain wallet, and it's not just the Binance Smart Chain itself, right? Initially, you may only see the Binance Smart Chain there. So for the future, you also see it will support other blockchains as well. So it from a user perspective, it's also multiple chains wallets. We also work with our partners for the multiple multi-chains wallet support. It will introduce a lot of the interesting ideas. For example, portfolio management across multiple chains, right? And that's new ideas are there. Yeah, we're looking forward for these areas.
Great, thanks. Another question is we had that Binance Chain, which is host our DEX. Can you talk about how developers building on Binance Smart Chain can leverage the DEX?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because a lot of people thinking, oh, currently all the focus are still in the Binance Smart Chain, right? It looks all the trading volume are in the Binance Chain. So from the day one of the Binance Smart Chain, we already try to build the cross-chain capability between the Binance Chain and the Binance Smart Chain. It's already enabled. And the token in the Binance Chain is BP2, and the token type in the Binance Smart Chain is BP20, right? They are connected. You can move around from the Binance Smart Chain to the Binance Chain and vice versa. And that's the first one. The second important part is we also want to make sure the business logic can link from the Binance Chain to the Binance Smart Chain. And so far, we do not have a deep integration yet, but our plan is if some of you already have a chance to see our white paper, right? We want to in the future the DEX can leverage the liquidity in the Binance Smart Chain, because in the Binance Smart Chain, a lot of people are developers introduce AMM with this kind of approach, right, for the liquidity. We also have a lending there, right? The Binance Smart Chain can leverage the future from here. And but Binance Chain have that DEX is based on the order book. That part have some benefits for the for some users, because the user can introduce the limited price order, and the institutional are very familiar with this kind of order book based approach, right? This kind of integration can help them. But another part is from the Binance Smart Chain, they can also leverage the DEX as well, right? So we try to we have the idea, try to make sure the cross chain in the Binance Smart Chain, you can also fire or trigger the your Binance Chain's order directly through the Binance Smart Chain, and you can link them together for that. This part we are still have a lot of design and discussion for that one. You will see more happening on these areas, and absolutely we are positioning these into a little bit of areas. And one thing I also want to highlight is Binance DEX will focus more on the future to be business as well.
Great, thanks. I think we have our last question. This is for Wei. When will the next set of investor project be announced, and how often will Binance be picking projects to invest with this 100 million fund?
I think we'll be continuing to we'll be announcing projects on a rolling basis. Our internal sort of framework is basically at the longest time stretch is maybe like at a month. but we're hoping to be quicker than that. A lot of it will be depending on sort of the continuing, quality of the projects that we're seeing. At the same time, it also be dependent on sort of the pace. The pace of the the growth of some of the projects that we're seeing, and then some of the more adoptions and the users that we're seeing. So I can say, but probably at least on a monthly basis.
Great, thank you. I think that's all the questions we have. Do any of you have any last thing to add? No. All right. I think that's for our AMA today. Thank you very much. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or support that you need for the building on the Binance Smart Chain. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.